Well, I guess Beware really... That specific Beware really wanted to get in the car and really wanted to be on the stream. So, fortunately, we didn't really miss anything because on the Steelix Illumina spot, I have on my route notes at the start of the stage, I need to hit these 3 Noibats with Illumina Orbs to set up something later. But I have dubbed these Noibats the 3 Terrible Noibats because their movement is completely RNG and, oh my god. And they all need to be lit up at the same time. So, much like the volcano, fortunately, even though this is a somewhat difficult stage, all of the resets are, like, at the very beginning. And these Noibats stop all going behind rocks. So, I probably should explain what Illumina Pokemon are. There are a grand total of 6 throughout the game. Meganium... What are they? Meganium, Milotic, Volcarona, Wishy-Washy, Steelix, and Xerneas. They're pretty much fancy Pokemon. These are kind of like the boss stages of the game, in a sense. When you hit them with a few Illumina Orbs, they will light up with special patterns. And it's really, really cool, really, really pretty. Steelix is yelling. But as these are sort of like boss stages, they are also, for points, the lowest species, the lowest different Pokemon species count of like all stages. That does not mean that they are the easiest stages. This stage is very, very difficult, especially once you get up into like the top 100, top 50, top 25, so on and so forth. Everything becomes excessively precise. And also the Wishy-Washy Illumina spot is one of the most complex high score stages in the game. So Illumina spots are still around to provide an ample amount of challenge for players who want to go for the high scores. Now Crobat is going to fly sort of in a circle in a way. I have a picture there that I think I was a little my perfectionist self is coming out. I think I was a little ever so slightly too far forward and I'm gonna lose like 50 points or something on that picture. Maybe 50 to 200 probably. But now we get to see, did the Noibats work properly at the start? Yes. So the Steelix interaction that we need at the end, you can tell if you got it or not by this Noibat walking out of the tunnel. But now Steelix is going to hop out of that hole and is going to curl up and go to sleep. Now we are going to take
that is
10
a cute
minutes.
Steelix.
Yeah, we're going to take 54 pictures of it.
That's a lot.
And now switch to 1 because we still need 3 more pictures of Steelix. This is going to be tricky though. Those 3, we're still a little bit too far away for it to be like a really good picture without zooming in, and if we zoom in, it's too zoomed in and it's just not good. Also, this is the make or break of the stage. Will Joltik be nice? I need to actually get up there because Joltik is doing the... there we go. Joltik was nice. Not a single practice run for the incentive was Joltik nice. This time, Joltik was nice. Joltik... Beware was not kind. Stopping the car, breaking tack, all that stuff. But Joltik was very nice. Joltik knew that a marathon was going on. And now Noibat's going to fly around in a few circles. Grab Noibat and grab Sableye. It's always the ones you don't expect. Let's see how many points this one is, I'm curious.
Now then, perfect timing.
All right, I'll take a 5700 on that. I did snap Carbink a little late. 4890. Oh my gosh. That's within 9 points of my PB. That was a good Joltik. That was also a good Noibat. And a good Sableye. Fingers crossed, if this hit 2.4 million, I am over the moon. Because 2.4 million is like an excessively good threshold. Okay, not quite, but you know what?
Very close.
2.4 light. Yeah.
Just round it up a bit.
Yeah, that... Let's just round it up. That is the Steelix Illumina spot. One of my favorite stages in the whole game. I've always had a soft spot for it. Steelix has always been one of my absolute favorite Pokemon ever since I was like 3 years old and I first started playing Pokemon. So I love that stage. I'll always have a soft spot for it. That was new Pokemon Snap, Johto Legends High Score Showcase plus Steelix. Steelix is legendary enough, if you ask me. A few real quick shout-outs. I want to shout out the new Pokemon Snap community. I want to shout out my own community. I want to shout out Fast Pace Events, FPE. I want to shout out Lady Arcaders. And I want to shout out GDQ and Frame Fatales for having me on and letting me show off this super, super cool game. And shout out Dijon for being on comms, and shout out to Satan for being a wonderful host. Shameless plug, you can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Blue Sky at Maple Snowgirl. And I think that's all from me. Dijon, do you have any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to my bed, which I'll be in like 10 minutes.
That is so fair.